This video is sponsored by Noom, and if there's a lot of echo in this video, that's because I just moved and there is no furniture in this room. One of the things I always advocate for is adult animation. Animation can be made specifically for adults and not kids. Superhero stories can be made for specifically adults and not kids. Anyone who says otherwise needs to check themselves, in my opinion. And in a world where most superhero stories are family friendly, watching Invincible is like a literal gut punch. The show is so massively complex, intense, and personal, it reminds me of Daredevil, but also Raimi's Spider-Man, but also the Avengers. I, for one, was not expecting the show to be this good, and then someone posted an incredibly violent action sequence on Twitter from the end of episode 1. And my brain just exploded. I hadn't seen such violent animated action in a long time, and it wasn't just down how brutal it was, but the way it was presented. No music, just absolute mayhem, and that's when I knew the show was different. Invincible takes the best parts of the animated format but keeps itself relatively grounded. It feels like you could make the show live action, but the show just so happens to be animated, and because it's animated, the show can get away with crazier shots, designs, ideas, and it's all the better for it. And so it was a Thursday night. My parents and I binged episodes 5 through 7, and the 7th episode ended on a cliffhanger, and we had to pack up our stuff because we were gonna move tomorrow. But then I found out that the final episode had just dropped as soon as we had packed up the TV, so because the show is so good, we unpacked the TV and the PS5 and we ended up watching the final episode on the floor. I'm telling you, the show is that good. And if you haven't watched it yet, do yourself a favor, you have to watch. Mark Grayson is an incredible character with incredible powers, but us? We're just people. So what do we do to get healthier, get fit, and become the best we can be? We use Noom, of course. Noom is a program that will help you learn about healthy habits beyond nutrition and exercise. It'll improve your relationship with food and your body, and overall help you reach a better state of mind. Like they say, learning, not dieting, leads to real lasting change. I, for one, have been working so hard on thesis and this channel that I've kinda let my body go, but thanks to Noom, I've been doing my best to get it back on track. The app has courses that help you learn about food and calories and helps you set your goals. Noom uses an online evaluation to create a custom program specifically designed for you. It can track your weight, you can track how much water you take in, you can track the exercises you do, and there's a bunch of healthy recipes for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for you to try. And with Noom, I've become less stressed, more interested in health, and I feel like I have a lot more energy now. So sure, we may not be invincible, but with Noom, you can start becoming a healthier you. Take your free 30-second quiz using the link in the description to get started right now. That's right, take your free 30-second quiz using the link in the description to get started right now. Thanks so much, Noom, for sponsoring this video, and let's get on with Invincible. The main takeaway from the start of Invincible is that it feels like the Peter Parker story meets Sky High. A high schooler, Mark Grayson, voiced by the incredible, the talented, the sensational Steven Yeun, gets superpowers, has to find out how to use them well, and discover how these newfound powers will define him. He's got relationship problems and high school problems. It's tough being a superhero when you have a social life. So that sounds like Peter Parker, right? Well, here's the thing. Uncle Ben wasn't a superhero, was he? So yeah, your boy J.K. Simmons plays Omni-Man, Mark's dad, and he mentors Mark into becoming a superhero as strong and powerful as him.
You serious?
Powerful as him, powerful as him, powerful as... So the way this plays out can be relatively fun and lighthearted, right? But the show makes it its mission to play things out as realistically as possible. The entire first episode is pretty mild. With some tweaks, it could honestly even be PG. But then, the final minutes hit. And boy, do they hit.
Regardless, it's him or us.
I choose us.
See, Robert Kirkman seems to be the kind of guy that loves violent stuff. I mean, just check out The Walking Dead, both the show and the graphic novel. But that doesn't mean it's just gratuitous garbage. The show is violent, it's grisly and visceral, but it's all in an effort to impact the viewer and change their perception of how things operate in this show, and to also challenge Mark's expectations of being a superhero. The first episode ends with a bloodbath meant to shock the viewer into understanding what the show will be like. But later on in the series, the violence directly impacts Mark, so he can better understand the consequences of failing. An article by Marissa Messiano from Fansided talks about how, at a WonderCon panel, Kirkman talked about the show. What he said about the show is also relevant to the comic as well. Invincible is striving to be a series that shows, what it's like to exist in this world. and how realistically we would deal with incredibly superpowered beings who are trying to kill each other. He explains that too often in superhero movies we don't see the trauma and the effects superheroes have on the surrounding communities. It reminds me of Batman v Superman's incredible opening, how even though we see all this epic action that superheroes take part in, innocent people are constantly in danger. And this reality really separates Invincible from other superhero media like it. There's also the fact that the show is animated, like I previously stated. And the animation is nothing too insane, nothing we haven't seen before, it does its job and it does it well. I personally really enjoy the art style, and I've seen people online get annoyed by the frame rate or the recycled animation. And honestly, while noticeable at times, especially in episode 4, it doesn't take away enough from the series where I'd start to see it as a detriment. That being said, there's always room to improve, and with there being a second and third season, they might kick the animation up a notch. But leaving animation and focusing on story again, I wanted to talk about how the plot is structured. Basically, it all revolves around a mystery. It reminds me of the J.J. Abrams mystery box style of storytelling, but done correctly. And now, it's time to get into spoilers. So from here on, the video will have spoilers, and I'll keep talking about spoilers until this timestamp in the video, all good? Okay. See, Abrams believes that mystery is more important than knowledge. But Invincible from the get-go knows that the discovery of the mystery and how the characters respond to the truth is way more important in the long run. From the lazy Rey Palpatine reveal to the even lazier I Am Khan reveal, Abrams at times has trouble with the mystery box because the reveal is built up to such an extent that no answer will be satisfying enough, and sometimes there isn't even an answer to the mystery when the writing process begins. On the other hand, in Invincible, the what in the mystery is shown. The truth behind the murders of the Guardians of the Globe is shown to us at the start, so we can see all of the dramatic irony play out on screen. And the mystery is only the why it happened. Ultimately, the fact that Omni-Man kills the Guardians is powerful enough and monumentous enough to have Mark confront his father. The reasoning behind why Omni-Man killed them is an additional bonus gut punch. And this has all been outlined and planned since the first episode, to ensure the perfect execution of the mystery of Omni-Man, and execution it was.
How could you do this?
That was your fault. Your stubbornness against the inevitable killed those people. How many more need to die, Mark?
Omni-Man attempting to teach Mark the futility of his actions, the futility of saving people when human lives are so insignificant because the two of them will live for centuries, is nuts. The season finale of Invincible is one of the greatest episodes of television I've ever seen.
Aw, bro, you gotta watch more television, dude. You gotta watch more.
Shut up.
What will you have after 500 years?
I still have you.
I'm not even joking, the episode is an absolute miracle. The direction, the acting, the animation, the music, it all perfectly comes together for one masterclass episode. It's very clear that they really pulled all the stops with the animation in this episode, and Steven Yeun, J.K. Simmons, Sandra Oh, and the rest of the talent genuinely gave their all here. It makes me so happy to call myself an animator. The stories animation can tell, honestly, it has less limits than live action, and that's a fact. And this episode succeeds in doing that. Invincible is cinema. This is cinema, and I love it. At the end of the day, I'll probably end up dressing as Invincible for Halloween or something, honestly, or just do the cosplay. I love the show, and I can't wait for season 2. I honestly might just read the graphic novel just to see what does what better, and to be able to enjoy the series twice. But if you haven't even watched the show, oh god, disgusting. Get on it, bruh. Watch Invincible right now. There's new merch on the Browntable store. Check it out right now. We got some Interstellar Ranger Commence shirts and some Browntable shirts. And thanks so much, Stevie, for the awesome Interstellar Ranger Commence fan art. It looks amazing. This color palette absolutely bangs. And if you haven't checked out Interstellar Ranger Commence, check out Interstellar Ranger Commence. Link in the description. It's the new series Browntable is making. Thanks so much, Chads, for watching the video. Thank you so much, patrons, for supporting me. Guess what? I'm officially out of college, which means more content. And that's more spelled with a M-O-A-R. That's how we spell it around here. And if you're wondering why I'm saying Chad, it's because the Chad Nation is what I call my subscribers. All you have to do to become a Chad is subscribe and turn on bell notifications. And if you become a Chad, you will actually become a Viltrumite, except without the homicidal tendencies. So thanks so much, guys, for watching the video, and I hope you come back to the table.